Hello Pisces, and welcome to your reading for the weeks of August the 20th through September the 2nd, 2024. This is a reading if you are a Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising, or have another significant Pisces placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you here, and if you're returning, welcome back. This is going to be a horoscope spread. Normally I was doing just cartouche first, and just to save a little bit of time, I've actually laid out all the cards in advance. So I have the Way of Cartouche cards are the ones that I have up first, and then they are being clarified by the Mystical Cats Tarot. And we will follow up with an oracle card pull from the Archangel Fire Oracle. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about my videos. In addition to tarot videos, I also do channeling videos of Archangel Azrael. I post my daily morning coffee, which is kind of my coaching discussions, my spiritual coaching discussions, as well as another daily reading. So yeah, I have a lot of new content coming up on this channel. So again, if you do like this content, please do subscribe. Definitely helps the channel to grow. All the links to my work, if you want to know more about the work that I do and the services that I offer, and also if you want to follow my live Instagram every day on social media, the links are down in the description box below. Okay, so with all that said, let's get into our reading. Now, it's interesting, you have Seth right off in the first house here, okay? And I put it with Isis. So when Seth shows up in the first house, it means that this is a crisis of identity. This means we have anxiety. It oftentimes indicates that we are looking at the outside world thinking things are very bad, but in fact, or we may just be prone to look at everybody else and go, why is everybody else around me, doing this and doing that? Like you may feel like the world is out to get you to some degree. However, this is really all more just, I don't like to use the phrase in your head, but it's more that it has more to do with your perspective and how you're looking at things rather than what's actually going on, because everything else going on does not look nearly as grim as maybe it appears through your eyes right now. Isis is definitely indicating you need to be patient with people, perhaps patient with yourself. You have just come out of a Grand Cross period, Pisces. So you are a mutable sign, and those who have mutable signs, and yours is one of them. Basically, you are the last sign of the winter months before spring begins with Aries. You have been through quite a ride this month with the Grand Cross that we've just passed through. You are going to, and the full moon, of course, on the 1st. This has been a bit of a shakeup, so perhaps you are feeling like the world is out to get you, but it is saying be patient. You have it with the 3 of Cups, so there is a sense of receiving support from others, collaborating with others, trying to take more of a celebratory way of looking at things rather than taking a very negative view. But it's understandable why you're taking a negative view at this point, just because of everything that's probably just happened recently. We do have the Tower down here in your 4th house, and we have it with the winged disc. So again, this home and family might be the area for you where a lot of shocks or unexpected things might have happened or taken place. And again, this can have to do with your physical home. This can have to do with a family situation. For some of you, a possible sister energy over here. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. That might just be a specific message for one person. Whatever it is, though, winged disc definitely indicates that whatever's happening here is going to be solved or overcome. Winged disc always brings good news in spite of whatever bad news we might see here. There's also the sense here that whatever shakeup you may have had recently, that this winged disc suggests to me that this may have been happening for a good reason. Like whatever's happening, if it's something that, if there's been clearing the air between family members, maybe that needed to happen. If it's an issue with the home, maybe it's something that you needed to see and fix before it got worse. You know what I mean? There's something here, whatever the blow up was, or whatever happened here that may have been very unexpected and shocking, this always tears things down to bring you to a new and better place. So if you're still reeling from something that's happened recently, that, basically it's saying you're going to see that in the end it's going to be for the best. There does seem to be some communications. Okay, here's your own energy in the 3rd house. So yeah, I feel like this is like you're waiting to hear from people about something. This is definitely a sense of I'm, waiting to, Nephthys has to do with things that are either not clear to us or things that have not revealed themselves yet. You have this with the Sea King, so I feel like this may be a situation where you've had to keep your emotions under control. This could also have to do with somebody who is a water sign. Maybe, it's the king, so it could be a man, but does not have to be. I feel like you are, and it could be a water sign person, but also doesn't have to be. This is a very strongly emotional card. So, so I don't know if this is the person you are actually communicating with, waiting to hear from, or if this is has something to do with business, because this also is a house of self-effort. So this could be a business deal or situation that has not really come through yet too. That's also a possibility here. We can look at this in conjunction with your other career houses or your job houses just to see how that squares with that. And you do have Osiris with the Ace of Sea. So I don't know if some of you have ended up with a newer job recently, because Ace of Sea is definitely shows a new beginning of some kind. But this is often a very more vulnerable new beginning. I mean, it's a good thing. Sometimes it's new love is the way Ace of Sea is often, or Ace of Cups is often translated. But I feel more like this is something where you're moving into a space that is, if it's not about actual love, it may actually just something that makes you happy or something that is close to your heart, maybe not just something you're doing to make money or something like that. You have it with Osiris here, so this is a very stable energy. Now, I don't know if you are working at something where you are, where you have some kind of leadership role or position. This could also just mean that something that is very secure and stable for you as far as work goes. I'm not seeing a whole lot of change though in job here. Like this could just be a new role or just a chance to do something, or maybe even just a new person who's come in whom, maybe you get on with very well. I don't know. There's definitely a new energy here. But the thing about these new energies, new emotional energies, is that sometimes maybe we can feel a little vulnerable and maybe not sure where things are going to go. If I look at your 10th house up here of career, we have the Pyramid card. Pyramid has to do with test situations or things that take time. And you have it with the Wheel of Fortune. So what I think is going on here with the wheel is, it just seems like there's going to be there's something changing. Like you seems like you may have a stable work situation, but there's just something that's either going to take time. Maybe there's been some challenges recently with regard to your career. Again, job and career are not necessarily the same thing, but I always tend to read these houses together anyway, along with the third house, because, like I said, whether you're self-employed, whether you work for someone, and whether your career has anything to do with either one of those things or what you want to leave as your legacy, it does seem like there's going to be some changes coming up. Wheel of Fortune is changes that are not necessarily in our control, but it's generally almost like the universe pushing us in the direction that we need to go. And with Pyramid, it just seems to indicate that any difficulties or difficult situations are going to be resolved with time. So this is interesting. So I just feel like as far as job and work, everything seems like it's solid, and it seems like any changes that are going to happen at the time that they're meant to. Okay, things are coming in, and then that's going to be determining the direction that you go in, or maybe even if there's been some difficulties, whether or not you're even going to stay somewhere. Sometimes that can come up if you're working someplace where, I don't know, there's been a reorg or there's been a change, or maybe there's a new boss. Maybe there's a new boss that you love. I mean, that's quite possible here too. When I say love, I don't necessarily mean romantic love, just, somebody who you really like. And it does seem like there's going to be just some changes. But again, if there's been any changes to your work life, they may be something that take a little time to implement. Again, that's just assuming you work for somebody. If you work for yourself, then I feel like there's something here where there may be a little bit of a lack of clarity, maybe something you're waiting on still. But again, there's control of the emotions. If this doesn't have to do, if you're not self-employed, then there still seems to be something that you're waiting on from somebody, and that you may be feeling rather impatient with them right now, looking at Isis with this in the first house. So the Sea King, again, keeping your emotions in check. I feel like, money, I feel like you've been trying to, get rid of your financial problems. Maybe you've been inspired to, curb your spending, or just get rid of debt or do certain things. Like there's this whole sense here of being inspired to fix or correct a situation, because you have it with the Four of Earth. So right now I think that is being translated as some kind of frugality, meaning that you may not be spending money right now. You may be feeling like, well, I need to save money, I need to hang on to what I've got right now. But sometimes the Four of Pentacles, or this is the Four of Earth in this deck, sometimes it means that we have to take some kind of financial risk to be able to move ahead. And fire can also mean that. It can also mean that you'll be inspired to make whatever investments you need to make, or to do whatever it is that you need to do. But I feel like right now you may be waiting for some particular thing to happen, or waiting to see how a particular change shakes out. Now, with regard to love, if you are looking for love, okay, I feel like there's somebody here, like you've got this cat with its paw over its eyes. Like there may be somebody here who's, hiding, retreating. This could be you too. Maybe you're feeling like, no, I don't want to deal with this right now. Because Four of Sky, it's a card of recovery from illness, and maybe that applies here. You can, decide if it does for you, but a lot of times this just means needing a retreat or a timeout from something. I mean, we do have water here, so this does seem to indicate a moving or changeable situation. There could be some very strong emotions. So if you are looking for love, I mean, if you've had a stagnant situation, if you have been kind of hanging out away from people, that might be changing. In fact, when I look at the 7th house, which is more about more committed partnerships, this is interesting. Okay, actually, to me, this indicates that right now, maybe you're just happier being single. Because 9 of C to me here, I mean, this can getting your wish in terms of love or romance, but 9s tend to be more independent cards. So this is about being satisfied with what you have where you are. And coupled with the Air card, this is more about somebody who's friendly or involved in a friendly but an uncommitted kind of alliance. So you may be in a position right now, Pisces, where maybe you want to date different people, or maybe you just don't want to date at all. Maybe you're like, you know what? No, I'm happy being single. I'm happy where I'm at. I don't mind making friends, but I'm not looking to get involved in some other things. If you are somebody already married, then this would suggest to me that I don't know, maybe you and your partner are feeling more independent, like maybe doing more of your own thing together. It can also there's also the possibility that maybe you're taking a trip together that you've wanted to take. Like all of that is that all is potentially possible here. But I think it's a general love omen for people who are unattached. Or just dating. You may be at a point right now where you may be just kind of like, okay, you know what? I don't, I think I want to work on myself. And actually with this here, maybe you do want to work on yourself first and kind of get yourself feeling more like you want to socialize and be with people again before you make that move. Okay, you have Thoth in the Scorpio house, and this is the house of transformation. And when Thoth shows up here, I mean, this is like the Wheel of Fortune to me here. This is like change is coming in its time. Like everything's going to fall into place when it's supposed to. You have it with the Earth Queen. So I feel like this is a very stable card. This is a very practical card. So I feel like, yeah, especially with the Four of Earth or the Four of Pentacles over here, you may be getting into a time where you're focused more on the practical stuff. Maybe you've had something go on with your home. Maybe you had a big expense all of a sudden, or maybe you've suddenly had to move or something like that. I mean, whatever it is, it's something that you will get through. But there definitely seems to be more of a focus on the practical. And Earth Queen is also more about being focused on making a home for yourself. You know what I mean? On actually being in a space where you feel at home and where you feel secure. So you're working towards something like that. And I feel like whatever needs to be healed right now, I mean, it's slowly happening, and everything is going to fall into its place at the right time. Now, I don't know if there's been a legal issue here, though, because you have the consequences or the justice card in the 9th house, which one of the aspects of the 9th house can be law. Okay, so this typically comes up when there is some kind of a trial. But again, you have it with Horus. I don't know if this is with a family member. Seeing the tower down here makes me think that maybe there's been a blowout with a family member, maybe over, I don't know if it's over an inheritance or something like that, or just monies that may belong to gift money or something like that. But because Horus does have a very strong family vibe, But it could also indicate something with which you have family support too. But I don't know. With the Tower here, I feel like there's been some kind of a sudden shock or something that's gone on. And yeah, something here that's maybe made you question, question everybody around you. But it is saying this does seem to be a situation where you need to be patient with others. But but I don't know. But there's definitely this strong sense of coming to truth or coming to justice here. If legal matters are not on the table, then I would say that, this could be a quest for truth and for balance. This could be, because this is the house of Jupiter energy. Sagittarius energy is expansive. It takes us outside of our normal, the normal setting that we have. It allows us to learn new things, expand our education. It's the house of faith and spirituality. It's the house of long distance travel. So there seems to be, Horus to me has a very strong creative or educational bent too. So I don't know. I feel here, and also healing. You may be going back to school for something. And this could be, again, so this may be enabling you to be more creative, or it may be something that enables you to, or this could be just something that's connected to healing in some way. But I don't know. Just looking at it with this card, I do feel like for somebody, this definitely is pointing to a family situation or something, some kind of legal thing that's connected to that. Okay. 11th house. This is Aquarius energy. Now, Aquarius is about your friendships and your social networks and things like that. Now, you've got the Ankh here. So I don't know. Now, I don't know if, whenever I see Ankh in the 11th house, I always wonder about friends that become lovers. That is always a possibility there. But I also feel like this may be a focus on just, again, focusing on what you love, focusing on the people that you love. We do have the 8 of C here, so I feel like this is like you walked away from a situation. Maybe this was a friendship that was going somewhere, but right now, this idea that you're happier being single, maybe you walked away from the idea of moving something from friendship to love. That's possible here. Or that, maybe to get to where you want to go, this may be demanding that you walk away from something. 8 of C is literally something that has served us well for a long time, that we finally just decide, okay, this was great, but it's no longer relevant and I need to walk away from it. So I don't know. I feel though overall like you're probably trying to walk towards your dreams, towards the things that you actually want, towards the things that you want to do. And but I feel, and part of this, I feel like for some of you, you want to do this as a single person, at least for right now. But there's some home or family situation that's kind of, it really rattled you right now, and or legal situation. So yeah, something's going on here. That seems to be the main thing, and I have a feeling it's just the thing that's unsettling you here. But overall, I feel like there's an impulse towards figuring out what you want. Okay. Now, in your own house of Pisces energy, you have the 9 of Earth. Okay. So again, you making sure that you are financially stable, that you're able to do the things that you want to do. And with Buckle of Isis, this is indicating efforts that you're making towards something that you want. Are you going to be rewarded for them or not? Okay. So yeah, so I feel like you are, I feel like you're worried that maybe what you've worked for, maybe you're worried that you're going to lose your money. Maybe you're worried that something may be going on where you feel like someone's going to take your money away from you, and that you're going to be left without. But something hard earned that you have spent a lot of time on. This is also a card of separation. There's a lot here that has to do with just separating in order to stand on your own 2 feet. There's a lot of energy around that in this particular reading. Overall, you have the Anubis card with the Queen of Fire. And Anubis, again, this is about you protecting your own interests here, okay? Or feeling protected, or feeling like you have to negotiate or navigate your way through a difficult space. And you have the Fire Queen here, so you may be very determined and very, very action-oriented and very determined to do things the way that you feel you need to do them. With fire, there's a lot of ambition and a lot of energy to get things done. This is an energy that's very forceful, very action-oriented, very seen by other people. And so, I don't know, I can't help but feeling like, though, there's the main thing that I'm seeing in this reading is that there's just been some kind of a situation that has left you unsettled. Maybe after you unsettled, maybe you have leaving you worried about finances and making you feel like you've got to protect your own interests, and that needs to be your focus. But it is telling you that, you know, to try to see the bigger picture here a little bit. You need to take a time out for yourself. You do need to establish your own security here, but the idea that maybe you can't trust everybody else, you know, or whatever, you may need to think about the situation differently. Because I feel like whatever's going on, there may be a need to look at something with either a little bit of compassion, or alternately, maybe you're being too hard on yourself, and this would be saying, you know, you better make sure that you are taking care of yourself, you know, that you're not, that you're not cutting yourself off from everybody maybe who cares about you, especially with the 3 of C here. So let's see, let's do I'm just going to put a light on because I feel like we're suddenly getting dark. I think there's a thunderstorm coming in. Let's do quickly an angel card pull for you so we can see, what does Pisces need to know? Oh, okay. So our card is a Chthonia, I think is how you say this, okay? It's an interesting type of an angel, but I know this has something to do with balancing, so I'm going to read to you what it says. Yeah, in fact, it's the angel card of balance. The message of this card is, human beings have an innate need to interact with others. Interesting, okay, when I'm talking about isolation. I will help bring balance to your love life and relationships, above all, to have a good relationship with yourself. So interesting. That's the message for you this week, Pisces. Have a good relationship with yourself. Whatever's happened, wherever you feel like, you know, there has been this upset with other people, and again, this feels like it's more around family than anything else. Maybe there are some friends you're feeling you're walking away from. Maybe there are loved ones where you're like, you know what, I kind of want to be on my own right now. The overall message here is most definitely look out for your own interests and take care of yourself, protect yourself. And again, don't let this change your own opinion of yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, and try not to look at things very negatively. Look to where your support is and try to look at things from a perspective of compassion, not only for yourself, but for others. Now, again, if something's happened with somebody where you're like, no, I'm really angry about this, then I always say to people, be angry about what you need to be angry about. I don't tell people like, oh, you should just be happy about it. Like, that's completely not my way. Because if you're not happy about something and somebody has done you dirty in some way, and I don't necessarily know that that's what's happened here, but it does feel like that's possible for some people down here. Whatever it is, you are going to get through it. Just take a deep breath, stay grounded. Everything's going to come together in the right time. This does seem like justice is going to prevail up here if there is a legal matter. Right now, though, I think you want to take some time for yourself. So that's it for this 2-week period, Pisces. I do hope this reading was helpful. Again, you can feel free to leave me a comment if you choose. If you do like this video, do give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, again, consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell to not miss videos. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in September.